Here. What's up, guys? Happy. It's Monday, right? Yeah. Hope you're doing all right today. Hope you had a good weekend. When's the last time we talked? Was it Friday? Let's pop open a Monster. Cheers. All right. Oh, man. I feel like I'm late, but I'm not. But I feel hot, man. I was out there. I ordered a Mama Cobb bowl. You guys ever heard of that? It was, I don't know. It was like a smoothie that you eat. It was a little thicker than a smoothie. Threw some pineapples in it, strawberries, some protein powder. Just sat in the sun, eating away. Now my skin feels all dry. Yeah, I know. But it's good. I'm getting a lot of ultraviolet lately before it gets 100 degrees. Trying to enjoy it. How we doing, chat? What's up, Alan? What up, Sean? What up, Miguel? Mike Knack here. What up, J. Cole? Jermaine. Cole. Mr. Nice Watch. Young Simba. What up, Jay? Tada. Rome. Rob F. Dang Lazy Mofo. Charles Moran. Ryan Nelson here. What up, Melinda? Ain't no airsoft rifle. How about Russell Westbrook? How about them LA Clippers? Last time allergies had me down. Yeah. They were cutting grass out there. No grass cut today, but I gotta get used to it, though. Gotta get used to it. I think I want to say that was a Friday. Because I was going to get up Saturday, but Saturday there was some good coverage on the airwaves. Y'all didn't need me. Sunday, same thing, right? Yeah, so today we're back. And we'll look at the schedule later in the stream, see what we can commit to as far as daily streams. But I appreciate everyone being here. Hope you had a good baseball weekend. Bong here. What up, Travis? What up, Jeffrey Humboldt? Back to work today. 5 weeks since you broke your arm. Wow. You think one day we're seeing people come back from like ACLs, right? And torn meniscus. We're seeing crazy recovery. Do you think one day you could break a bone and just be out a couple weeks? Like, I don't know. I mean, it wouldn't be anytime soon probably, but yeah, modern technology, medicine, all that crap is wild. Just wild. You think about stuff that used to kill people in, the 1600s and 1700s. This is like common crap we can treat over the counter. Ship the Minimax? Let's go, Travis. Yo, the Minimax, what is it? Isn't there a dime or a nickel or something like that on Fanduel? Those are harder to hit than the 222s, the $2.22 or those are harder to hit because it's exponentially more amount of lineups you have to beat, right? And people are taking crazy risk because of the stakes being so low. So anytime someone hits the mini max, man, that's an accomplishment. Good stuff, Travis. Did you max it, or did you do like 50? Whew. We talked about allergies, and now I feel like I gotta sneeze again. There's a lot of pollen floating around. Some bees and butterflies. It's beautiful out there, but yeah, it kicks my butt. I'm a different type of analyst, but I have a big presentation on Wednesday. I learned how to present from Gunn and the Stochastic team. Let's go. What do you analyze, Charles? Had a good NASCAR weekend. Let's go. Boy, you think baseball got variants? I love NASCAR. When NASCAR first came out as a DFS sport, I was on it. We had RunDFS.com content. I was creating spreadsheets. I was banking tournaments, and that was before there was stage racing, and it was my jam. And then I just got the overall popularity of the channel and RunDFS, blah blah blah, just happened, and I just couldn't keep up. And then when they changed from normal to stage racing, so I tagged in my boy Smeezy. He's the crew chief now at the NASCAR department. Shout out to Smeezy. But yeah, I love NASCAR. NASCAR's a little different though. Now I turn it on, I don't reckon. I feel like an old man. When I was a kid growing up, man, I turned on my boy Tony Stewart, Jeff Gordon, oh man, so many old timers. Mark Martin, Dale Jarrett, oh man, Bobby Labonte. Old school. Now I don't know any of these kids. Kyle Busch bullying a bunch of children. Senior analyst, Business Insider. That sounds way smarter than me. I think the biggest key of presenting, or what I do, is I just talk to people. You know, it's easy to be boring, monotonous. Where's the cap? There it is. Be a little bit funny, so remember you. You know, stand out. Because I bet Business Insider analyzation is probably gets boring. It's like this. Like, I don't know how people listen to baseball. I'm glad they do, but I don't know how they do. It get boring. William Byron killed your NASCAR lineups. Yikes. Engagements and retention. Oh, okay, then yeah, that definitely. Banked over 3K profit this week. That's a good weekend. 80 degrees Saturday in Green Bay. Snow today. Yeah, my boy James from Fantasy Cruncher. I saw him on Twitter talking about that out there in Wisconsin. Hot, and then he's like shoveling snow over the weekend. Just when you think winter's done, it's like, nah, I'm still here. Hold up. Yo, I left my keys. Yeah, I left my keys. I'm back. Every time I play NASCAR, I can't build a line with a driver that doesn't crash. Yeah, it gets crazy, but it's like it's a fun sweat. It's very unique because every lap is different, right? You could be banking and then pits happen, or then a wreck happens, and then you go from last to first to last. It's crazy. You really can't sweat NASCAR till it's over, but it's fun. Like, you got a real sweat every lap. PGA didn't go well for you. I mean, I don't. Like we talked about, I don't really know PGA like that, and I haven't played MMA DFS either. But I saw there was I guess this happens every week, but it seemed especially egregious this week. There was a fight that was badly judged. Was it the girl fight? It's like all the I saw Greg tweeted all the media members voted one way, like unanimously, and then it went the other way. Rich Hill and Coors, yeah, that's why we're wasting time, because we don't want to run to Rich Hill and Coors. What am I looking for? I guess I need to. Guys, last night, little old school. I've been on a healthy kick lately, working out. Got a lot of wrestling matches coming up, big ones. Peanut butter and crackers, late night snack last night. I just left it on my desk for me to find the next day. It's just in the way. I got no arm room. Hey, this stream's brought to you by RunDFS.com. That's the place we don't just play DFS. We run DFS. If you guys are looking to step out, support the stream, support me, and get a lot in return, namely the MLB RunDFS.com VIP spreadsheets, you can do so with a subscription at RunDFS.com. Click VIP memberships. Hey man, take a look at a couple screenshots. There's a couple millionaires up in there. And grab a pass that's right for you. Week pass, 2 week pass, month pass, MLB season pass. The other day, somebody emailed me, and this happens every now and then. Somebody emailed me. He's like, "Yo, Gun, I got a week pass or a month pass, whatever it was." It was like, "But I'm gonna be out of town next couple weeks. Can you cancel my renewal?" And I never really advertised this, but if you guys don't know, I don't really believe in auto renewal. I feel like it's kind of scummy. You forget about it, blah blah. If you like it, you're gonna resub, and that's how we've always done it. We've never not done it that way. So if you do subscribe, and after a week you're like, I'm not vibing with it, just know we don't do auto renews. That's just not what we do. Every sub comes with a Fantasy Cruncher voucher, the season pass, pretty good bang for your buck, $300. You can rebate that down to $200 when you take advantage of the $100 credit towards Fantasy Cruncher. Who knows is burning, and $400 for the rest of the entire year with a $150 voucher to Fantasy Cruncher. And yeah, it says that would be season pass, but just understand that that's going to be good through October. NBA and football comes back in September, right? And then basketball in October, so maybe there's a little over. There's definitely a month overlap of football, so that'll be in there. I don't really split it up. So yeah, take advantage of all that. When you do upgrade, click VIP portal. There'll be a link to the spreadsheet, link to the Discord, and then we are in the Discords daily. Usually, lately during the night slates, we've been hanging out in the Discord. I might have to either rain check it tonight or take a rain delay. There's no Yankee game today, so I do need to get a workout in after lock. But that shouldn't take but an hour. So if I'm back and people are there, last night I actually streamed The Hangover at like 11 p.m. while me and the homies grinded some Conquest and MLB The Show. So sometimes you get a little extra. Anyway, Wesneski's getting some steam because of price. Oh yeah, speaking of which, I need to open up Fantasy Cruncher. Hovland went from -8 to second round. Dang. You have a Diamondback sleeper stack? Let's go, Catelza. What up, Catelza? Yo, Catelza, your name has been R. Catelza is back for a long time. You should just like you can't. You're here. You know you're here. All right, we got the right slate open. Flaherty all of a sudden found command last game. Yeah, I mean there was definitely going to be some middle ground, but let's do some research here. Let's get going. First of all, let's start our research sesh with looking at Mr. Kevin Roth for RotoGrinders. RotoGrinders.com/weather/MLB. There's a link in chat. You guys should always have this bookmarked. Looks like some of the early stuff is on here. We got a Detroit postponement, a White Sox postponement due to cold and wind. That's not even rain. I guess that's part of that weather cell you were talking about. And then main slate's looking pretty clear. So I believe we're off to the races here, right? Yeah. Let me double check. Was that Cleveland game? That was going to be part of the early set, right? Let's see, early set. I don't know, wherever it is. Oh yeah, it was part of the early set at 6:40 anyway, so we don't have to worry about that. And we're good to go. I have two accounts. One doesn't have back at the end. What up, Pinstripe? Been hand building my whole DFS life, and today I'm going to give it the optimizer go with my player pool. See what happens. I appreciate people that hand build their lineups. I do. In baseball, I think you can still do it in basketball. I think you can absolutely still do it in football. And don't get me wrong, you can do it in baseball. But on a broader spectrum, I don't think the human brain can embrace the variance as well as a robot can. When you open up Fantasy Cruncher and we slap in 80% randomness and give it some rules and let it rip, it's going to grab some outlier games that the human brain is not going to, right? The human brain's not going to pick 9-hole Michael A. Taylor that homers twice in Yankee Stadium. I'm not salty. I'm happy for him. So I would say, yeah, man, if you guys are baseball seam heads and you made it this far, challenge yourself. And on Fanduel, there's a nickel to get in there. $7.50, I believe. Whatever, 5 times 150. Practice. Go out there and grind. You don't have to jump right into the mini max or the $3, $5, $5.55, whatever is out there. Practice using your optos for big entry, to manage a portfolio of lineups, to understand the CSV transfer process, how to manage those lineups as you're live. Baseball is the easiest to dip your toes in because you usually, like yesterday, Sunday morning, we had all lineups within an hour, with an hour to spare before lock. You just don't get that in NBA. And it's so cheap. Less than $8 gets you 150 lineups to manage. Yeah, it's only like a couple hundred the first, whatever. But you're developing a skill, developing how to manage your optimizer. So I would definitely encourage everyone to try it, even if it's not 150. I do think baseball long-term throughout the course of a season, this can be a stressful season if you're hand-building 1 to 5 lineups because of variance. And I think an Opto will help you overcome that variance a little bit. But congrats on making that step. Don't get discouraged or overly encouraged by what happens tonight. And I would also say start developing a taste for the contrarian life, especially in baseball, where uniqueness is very valuable, and being able to avoid 20-30% ownership in a game of failure. At first, you got that FOMO, but afterwards, like the best play in the slate, if he's 30% owned, you're going to start be like, well, I don't really want that then. But welcome to the dark side. Pinstripe, testing in the quarter. Yeah, what up, Sinjin? What up, Shannon? He had some tough matchups. Yeah, okay. All right, let's get cranked up. Game numero uno, the Phillies and the Reds. No, the White Sox. So wait, this was one of those games, right? Postponed. This game is postponed, huh? All right, well, Fantasy Labs should probably adjust that. Let's pull up an alternate source. So, Chad, just so I'm not tripping, it was, yeah, I mean, I'm looking right at it, postpone. All right. Why didn't neither one of these sites are listing it red? Let me go to White Sox Twitter just to double down, because I'm looking at two different preview sites, and they just list this game like it's there. I think it's because it's the... All right, so we'll go to White Sox Twitter. I just want to see it with my own eyes. You guys see what no house advantage throughout? Now, if a player gets injured and played less than 6 minutes in the playoffs, yeah, there it is. They'll avoid it. Tonight's White Sox-Phillies game postponed due to inclement weather. Tonight's blah, 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 blah. Starts a doubleheader tomorrow. All right, cool. So, we got that verified. We'll go Reddit. Not like the website. Take them out. And that'll probably be annoying to manage tomorrow. And then we will do this. And we'll go postponed. Then we will reset the bomb detector for the Vipers. I'm doing a little research. I don't know why I'm talking like this. And we're good. All right. Now, on to the next one. We got the Rangers and the Royals. And we do have a Royals lineup. Bobby Witt Jr., MJ Melendez, Vinny Pasquantino, Salvi, Kyle Isbell, Hunter Dozier is batting sixth. Matt Duffy, Nicky Lopez, and Nate Eaton. All my crackers. Green like that. On the bump, Jordan Lyles taking on Jacob deGrom. Looks like it's between 67 degrees out there. Jacob deGrom is the best pitcher on the planet. The Royals are a very beatable team in a spacious pitcher's park. So we're probably not even going to mess around here, right? Jacob deGrom starting him off as a tier 1 cover boy for a reason. Pull him up. Let's look at pitch counts. We don't really care about anything else. 98. Yep. You're Jacob deGrom, all right. 9 Ks, 11 Ks, 7 Ks. All right. Jordan Lyles, on the other hand, not good at baseball. No, I'm just kidding. It's very, very beatable, right? A 1.4 whip last year. He's got a couple games under his belt this year. I need to probably begin recoding for the index portal to start displaying this year. But we do have a couple starts for Jordan Lyles. I think what we saw is what we expected. Regression for his home runs to righties now that he's not in that Camden Park where they pushed the left field wall back. 6.3% swinging strike rate on the season with a 4.6 xFIP. Ground ball rate is only 26%. He has been a pretty heavy fly ball guy. 46% essentially. 28% line drive rate. Not what you want. Hard contact rate, manageable, but still beatable. So just because of his contact profile, I think we're interested here. The Rangers overall, skill-wise, we're not that enthralled here, but I always say bad hitting beats bad pitching. And if you're going to be able to put the ball in play, I'm interested. This is a Rangers lineup that took a big hit in the absence of Corey Seager, so maybe I'd be more into a 3-man stack than a 4 or 5-man stack, but Marcus Semien certainly leads the charge here. I want to see Semien hit a granny last night. Adolis Garcia up there, also a guy that could maybe offer you some speed on the base pass. Travis Jankowski, speaking of speed, he's down there. So a little bit less menacing lineup, but still attackable. My favorite version of the Rangers lineup is obviously with Corey Seager, with Mitch Garver, but Seager's down for the count. So I'm interested in the Rangers, but they're probably a 3-man stack. I don't know how full send I would get. And then obviously Jacob deGrom is Jacob freaking deGrom. So we're in on that. But I also wouldn't talk you down off of a 5-man stack. And I guess, I don't know, how owned is Coors tonight? If it's going to be one of those nights where the field just can have Coors, then I'll take every other game. Maybe we can get here without, 30-30. Yeah, Jesus. So, yeah, maybe we do get here as just a contrarian. I'll put him down here a little bit. Down here. DeGrom gets the lock button just like Garrett Cole with a gem yesterday. Have a day off, bullpen. Go home. Enjoy the family. Cole was absolutely locked in. Loved it. Goldie's not in the lineup tonight. All right, let's move on to the next game here. D-backs and the Cardinals. Let's get those confirmed lineups in. Well, that's a good pace of breakdown. I would love to break down DeGrom versus Jordan Lyles every game. We'd have 30-minute streams. Josh Rojas, Ketel Marte, Gurriel, Christian Walker, Corbin Carroll, Pavin Smith is batting 6th. Gabriel Moreno, Alec Thomas, Geraldo Perdomo. We out here. And then the Cardinals lineup, Brendan Donovan, Alec Burleson, batting 2nd. Wilson Contreras, what is this? Wilson Contreras, a 3-hole catcher? Tyler O'Neill, Lars Nootbaar, Jordan Walker, Tommy Edman. All right, Flaherty taking on the D-backs. Merrill Kelly on the bump for Arizona, 22% K rate last year, $114 on the whip, 3.62 xFIP. He's usually one of those guys I don't pick on and I don't pitch, just kind of exists to eat baseball innings. And on a smaller slate against a more attackable matchup, maybe I'm interested. The Cardinals have allowed some outlandish, I don't know if I want to say outlier, but outlier big games, right? Oviedo, Vince Velasquez. So maybe we're willing to accept that they can strike out. And you guys mentioned, and we see it, Paul Goldschmidt not in the lineup. I don't know if Merrill Kelly's the guy I want to jump on for this, but 11.4% swinging strike rate this year, 61% first pitch strike. If you take out the first game against the Dodgers, and Dodgers are a scary matchup, the last 2 games, this first pitch strike rate would go up because 64% in the first game, 73% in the second game. And batted ball data, ground ball guy. And again, you look more at the last 2 games than the Dodgers game, you probably have an aggregate 60% ground ball rate. Hard contact, though, not what you want. 40+% hard contact rate and a 4 to 5 xFIP in those games. StatCast is telling us that he allowed 1 barrel in the last 2 games, 2 in the Dodgers game it happens, and then 10 barrels in the 10 hard hit balls in the last 2 games. So that's a little bit elevated. So he is allowing some quality contact, probably above what you would want. But it's not a complete and utter gas can. With that said, looking at this D-backs lineup, not a ton of barrel threats in this lineup. Looking at the Cardinals lineup, with Goldie out, we have 4 guys with a 10+% barrel rate since the beginning of last year. So a little bit menacing, I guess. And yeah, I think in the context of this slate, I'm going to be looking at what can I get upside wise for anything not Coors. And I think the Cardinals, I'm just a sucker for the Cardinals. I would certainly like this lineup a lot more with Goldie, but I think I'm here on it. So we'll put the Cardinals in the stack list. Is Kelly just like a get me over SB2 option today? We got DeGrom, we lost Wheeler, Javier's in a tougher matchup. Corbin Burns. Last game looked like he was Corbin Burns again. What are you guys thinking on Merrill Kelly, guys? I feel like I could stash him in my back pocket. Like it would be a 10% or lesser. Maybe 7,400. How often can he get like 60? I would love 20. Would love it. I might put him in my back pocket. In the grand scheme of this slate, he's still not top 7 in the basic projection. But I don't know. I'm not gonna put him in my pool right now. But I probably wouldn't point and laugh at you, just because of what we've seen happen against the Cardinals. But this version of the Cardinals lineup just gives us 3 really big K guys, so we're probably not going to have an ability to erase any earnings if he does let a few slip. So I'll be on the outside looking in for now, but we might circle back, and if we fill a couple spots at 7,400, maybe. Jack Flaherty, the case of the man who can't throw strikes. So last outing, you would assume that he would start finding it a little bit, but remember, the walk problem wasn't just something that happened this season out of nowhere. In 36 innings last season, almost a 17% walk rate to righties, a 10% walk rate to lefties. He saw a walk problem in 2020 against righties, has had an 8-9+% walk rate against lefties. So he's not necessarily always been a guy to pound the zone as is. So you're going to have some of those games where he just completely misses the zone. Last game, he actually had the second lowest first pitch strike rate of the season. Not terrible at 65%. And then his batted ball profile was on his side. The first 2 games, not so much, with a 7+ xFIP. I don't think the walks are helping his cause there. The ground ball rate, 54% on the season. That's a positive. Fly ball rate, line drive rate, manageable. The barrel, only allowed 1 barrel on the season. 10 hard hit balls in 3 games. Hey, whatever. So I think, what's really been his bugaboo is his ability to throw strikes. Because once you have, 2 on, 3 on, your pitch selection gets smaller, your confidence gets lower. So, what do you guys want to do with Flaherty? I don't know. The D-backs are kind of pesky. And I don't think that he just all of a sudden found it. Let's see. Let's look at pitches thrown in that game. Anything different? Coors Field, elevation. Looks like he threw a little less fastball, like 10+% less. A little bit more slider, kind of crazy. A little less cutter, a little less curveball. And then he's only thrown a registered changeup on Fangraphs in 2 of the games. So I'm not ready to say that Flaherty is a strike throwing machine. The matchup today, pesky in terms of strikeouts. Corbin Carroll is the guy leading the charge at over 1 in 5 Ks per at bat against righties, but very low barrel rates and a pitch apart. So I would say both pitchers. I'm not gonna put in my pool right now, but if you had a lineup and you had those guys as maybe last man in or just get me over SP2, I wouldn't fault you. I prefer the card stack to the D-back stack if I have to choose. Where is Flaherty? 4% and 1%. So no ownership here. So I might throw a couple sprinkles in DK. Sprinkles are for winners. Let me get caught up with chat. I'm sorry, chat. I was just in it. Do you mostly 5-3 stack on DraftKings in like massive tournaments? Yeah. I absolutely do a 5-man stack no matter what. And then usually 5-3. But sometimes I'll just go 5 and let her rip. Hill has already given up 6 homers. Yeah, now what you want. Like 4-4 seems less common. On DraftKings specifically, I've posted this before, but my buddy James over at Fantasy Cruncher, before the season started, he wrote just an incredible article where he analyzed all the main slates from last year. And like 52% of the time, the winning lineup was a 5-man stack. So You're the Vegas favorite for the 5-man stack strategy to be optimal. Cole back on that spider tack. I think pitchers are allowed a little bit more lately, and I think we saw that last year as well. But I mean, Cole was a little bit lucky in spots last year as well. I think Garrett Cole's good. Maybe it's also a benefit of early season temperatures. I know there was some Domingo Herman controversy as well, so maybe some spider tack is back. But I also know that Garrett Cole said that he was part of a committee that met with baseball in the offseason to come up with a substance to use. So I don't know if all that's like available to the public information or what, but maybe there's something to it. I didn't look at his spin rate differential. What up, Kenzie? Finally had a mini max takedown Saturday. Yo, we got a bunch of mini maxers up in here going crazy. I love it. Kenzie, did you max it or did you have like a lower amount, like a 20, 30, 40, 50? Kelly's walks worry me for it every game. Yeah, both these pitchers have walk problems. And again, with walks, walks create the big inning, which is good for stacks. So I think this is one of those spots where I guess let's inverse the pitch. We know it's like 4% and 1% on the ownership for the pitchers here. So inversely, is anybody getting to these offenses? No. 8% on Corbin Carroll, cool. And then the Cardinals, nobody. So this game's completely unowned, and this is one of those making decisions. But if you guys are out there, multi-entering tonight, and you want to give the field chalk, and it's going to be hard to turn away from Coors or Rich Hill out there. So we'll probably have to sprinkle in low-owned stacks, and we have to think about this game because it looks like no one's here. If we're scared to pitch the pitchers, it's probably because they're walking guys. They might have Corbin Carroll up a 2-on. Creating the opportunity for the big inning, and neither one of these bullpens. I guess Jordan Hicks in the Cardinals bullpen, but didn't Hicks give up a homer to McCutchen the other day? We're seeing a bunch of bullpen regression throughout the league lately. Let's see, Cardinals bullpen. Giovanni Gallegos is pretty good. He's pitched 2 of the last 3 games, so it looks like they've been using him every other game. So I don't know if he would be. I guess he could be available today. Jordan Hicks has been pitching opposite of Gallegos lately. So those are the 2 names that I recognize as good. And then Arizona, I don't think has anybody that I would be running from. Oh, excuse me. I'm looking for Arizona, and it's actually D-backs. Yeah, I don't know. I guess Miguel Castro, but Miguel Castro, was he on the Orioles, maybe? What's up, Trey Make? Hope you're doing all right. How important is it to use projections? Which site do you recommend to get them to? So projections are trash in baseball. It's great for a baseline though. So I say this, I'm gonna launch projections in a week too. It's not to projections are just, there's so much variance in baseball that don't tie up in projections. When I run a script in baseball, those of you that maybe use Fantasy Cruncher as well, I go crazy with the randomness. Usually I'll go like 80, whatever. I watched a video Alex did on the Stochastic channel last year, and my man was using like 150% randomness, all right? So it really doesn't matter. It's just a baseline. I essentially go off of like quality of matchup and players that profile the best, and then of course naturally they're going to have a projection. So I don't think it's that important. What I think is the most important projection for baseball, or the most predictive, I guess, would be the pitcher projections. You're going to want to always take a look at that. But for the hitters, every team's going to be in a hierarchy, best player and beyond. So I don't sweat it too much. Just make sure that they're like proportionate. And then when you script, always, like, I don't know, let's say I run 150, always go down and just keep an eye on, I can't do it right now. Keep an eye on your ownerships. Like, see if you're, like yesterday, I ended up with 80% Kyle Schwarber on my first crunch, and I was like, I like Kyle Schwarber. Like right now, Elias Diaz is landing like 90%, so I'd probably have to come back and babysit that a little bit. But no, projections are not something that I would projections not something I would want to buy for baseball. I'd rather buy an ease of access research assistant, or something that helps me out with ownership projections, stuff like that, rather than projections themselves. Because usually projections across the industry in every sport are pretty linear. Matter of fact, I do believe there's free projections on Fangraphs every day. I think Zips projections. I know there's a lot of season-long projections, but I think there's daily on here. Anyway, but you get what I'm saying. Profar's been awful. Yeah, Profar, kind of one of the weirder leadoff guys. Mini stacks all the way. You like the mini stacks? I'm with it. Some slates, I mean, like I said, there's still 48% of slates last year that weren't 5-manners, but I think a big chunk of those were 4-manners. I play the Rockies and Marlins ballpark of Rich Hill's pitching. Yeah, I it's not about, and I think if you, and I'll have that mindset too, because I do want to pick on Rich Hill. There's a matchup and great spot mindset, which is the beginning of our research, and then there's and the beginning part, the pros usually skip because it's a waste of time. But I love baseball, and then there's a uniqueness and ownership and leverage versus the field, because you're trying to be first place versus them. So usually that does not like 30% own hand holding. But in some spots, and we've seen it this season, when it's too good to pass up, you can still be there. You just have to be there uniquely. And I think looking at the Cardinals or D-back stack is certainly one of the ways to begin that process. What else we got here? Kenzie is Marlo. I hit with one lineup. You took down the mini max with one lineup? Wow. That's incredible. If I read that right. Chris Bryant hasn't homered in Coors from over 2,000 days. We need homers. He's due. Also, I feel like that's, I don't say misleading, but Chris Bryant has spent a lot of his Rockies career injured, right? So like saying over 2,000 days is a little bit not fair. I'm not going to waste time, but you get what I'm saying. It's like saying I haven't stole a base in Yankee Stadium in 20 years. Well, I haven't. Here, what up, Adam? All right, let's move on to the next game here. Blue Jays at the Astros. We have no lineups for either. All right, our pitching matchup, it's a good one. Kevin Gausman versus Christian Javier. The Blue Jays have a 4.2 run total. The Astros just a 4-run total. So respect to the pitchers here. Gausman last year, really good, 2.94 Sierra, 3.34 expected ERA. Javier, even better, 2.43 expected ERA, 3.14 Sierra. We'll start with the Gausman side and double down on how they've been this year. Overall, though, good. Gausman definitely good. Javier let me down in a spot. I want to say, it was against the Tigers. I don't remember. I know one day I got all giddy to play him, and it didn't go great. But while we're here, let's go pull up Gausman's pitching profile, his discipline profiles. Split 1,500. Was it a full slate? If you split it, it might be a smaller slate, which is still a great job. But that's crazy. 13.6% swing and strike rate on the season for Gausman. Pretty good. This is really good. 77 first pitch strike. He's not messing around. We want to see pitchers with 70% or better first pitch strike. Less likely to waste pitches, pitch ahead in the count. That's an advantage pitcher. 2.62 overall xFIP. The only game we're over a 3 xFIP, ironically, against the Kansas City Royals. And then StatCast says he has allowed 3 barrels. All of them came, ironically, against the aforementioned Detroit Tigers with a 25 hard hit ball. So he is allowing some hard contact, but good numbers all the way through and through. And then lastly, what was the ground ball rate? About 50% on the ground ball rate. Hard contact rate is a lot of that literally is being inflated from last game against the Tigers, but really good numbers to work with. not a extremely good matchup against the Astros, but we have seen some upside games against the Astros. Matter of fact, that the Astros have a losing record, so a couple of these teams might be carrying these reputations that precede them, where we over-respect them. But like looking at this projected lineup, Bregman, Alvarez, Tucker, Abreu, I like it. That lane's pretty good. Everyone else, I mean, puncher's chance, right? So Gossman's absolutely in play, and he'll probably be, or might be in the shadows of, everyone's in the shadow of DeGrom. I don't care how owned DeGrom is, I'm playing him, right? That's my Coors Field chalk. Like, I'm playing Jacob DeGrom, I don't care. But Kevin Gossman, in context, right now projected for single digits. Yeah, we can get there. And Javier, 1 and 4. So Javier's a little bit higher owned, which is, man, you could make a case that Gossman has the better matchup. Maybe not. It's probably neutral, if anything. But Vegas is respecting both pitchers, so absolutely don't mind Gossman here. Let's put him as a tier 3 to boot. And then Javi Banks. Cub stack. Anything that's not Coors has a good chance of being 15 or less %, sometimes in the 10 or less. Yeah, right. It's that Detroit game. Every other game, a double-digit swinging strike rate. His first pitch strike the last 2 games are a little sus, not quite like Gossman's. And then the batted ball profile, 4.4 at xFIP. Not what you want. 2 games in a row, 4+ xFIP. So, excuse me, chat. And something Javi here. These xFIPs, the 4+, the 5.7 xFIP. I mean, this is the Tigers and the Pirates. This is not the Toronto Blue Jays. So for him to have 2.5 times the ownership as Kevin Gossman, that's kind of interesting to me, because you could make. I mean, it's not a case. Kevin Gossman's been the better pitcher, I believe, metrically. The much higher first pitch strike, better xFIPs, the better swing and strike stuff. So that would probably be my move. That's how I'm a little bit different, right? With him being at 25%, Gossman at 9%. Well, give me Gossman over Javier. But I still, Javier's still in the pool just because he's a good pitcher. But he might be overvalued. What's his price? Why is he so chalk? Even though this is on the main page, 92. So yeah, Gossman's about $1,000 more, but $1,000 in baseball really not that hard to make up. Sneaky low on pitchers, Jacob DeGrom. All right, write that down. Butthole, I was gonna ask, what do you think about that game in Colorado? Do you think we can get behind stacking some of those bats with DeGrom? No one's gonna have that. And if it goes off, ooh. All right, so I'll tell you what. Since Javier's chalk, that probably means the Blue Jays are not. You had to pay $6K for 2 hitters, which I'm assuming is more than anybody in Coors. Brian Reynolds at $6K. Let's go. Nobody listens to techno. All right. So, what was I about to? I was going to have ownerships for. Houston just came out. All right. Nate Lowe's going to double dog. Think I'm going to Burns tonight. Yeah, I don't think Burns was going to be bad for forever, right? Houston ownership wise, other than the pitcher, untouched. Look at this. If this is real, I mean, we're getting a whole bunch of non-Coors opportunities, and then the Blue Jays the same. So this is a 4 corners opportunity, scumdacker opportunity, where admittedly the matchups aren't good for the offenses, but it's still good offenses, at least on the Blue Jays side. And I'm not giving up on the Astros. I think the Astros, Bregman, Alvarez, Abreu, Kyle Tucker is a great lane. Jeremy Pena, incredible stuff in the postseason. So it's still a talented team. And if we're going to get them at pennies on the dollar when it comes to ownership versus the field, we could be there and not have to give up like 7% equity on the dedicated 5-man stack. So I think this is a 4-corner spot. So if we create a podium, for me, I think it's Gossman, Blue Jays, Javier, Astros. And that's how I would do that. And that's all I got to say about that. Let's go Blue Jays, Astros. And then we did have an Astros lineup come out, right? So, at least, there it is. It's a little bit different. Mauricio Dubon leading off. Former Giant great. Dubon's a righty, right? Yeah. Reggie, Alvarez, Abreu, Tucker, Pena, Jolks, Jake Myers, and Martin Maldonado. So that's our confirmed Astros lineup. So the only difference is we had Chas McCormick, and McCormick's probably a higher K guy. So the first 5 hitters are going to be work for strikeouts. Bottom half of the lineups can be good. If you're on like PrizePicks and that lane comes up for you, I love that for strikeouts. We just have to earn his outs here. And then what's his righty splits? 30% K rate to righties last year, 26% to lefties. So we could really live on that 30% K rate with just 2 lefties in the lineup. I'm interested. High line drive rate though. Am I hacking your life? Astros never strike out against lefties. Not sure on righties. Sonny Gray says, "You're kind of like Dustin May tonight." Dustin May's swinging strike rate is, I feel like his popularity versus his swing and miss stuff is not matching, but maybe it comes. I don't know. I'm expecting Mets number 2 prospect Brett Beatty to be in the lineup tonight. Dang, they're starting that influx real quick. Francisco Alvarez and Brett Beatty. Nice. Could see some Mets, yeah. Semion's at 10 of 20 off of Lyles. Mike, you take that BVP, you put it back in your pocket, and you get the heck out of here with that bull crap. I'm just kidding. You could stay. But I'm watching you. Let's see. What do we got for Marcus Semien in the BVP tab? I feel so dirty. 4 doubles, 1 strikeout, and 20 at bats. 850 slugging. Yeah, I don't need BVP to let me know that Marcus Semien has what's his bomb detector rating? I think it's over 4. A 4.03 bomb detector rating. I don't need BVP. I don't want it. You can have it. Pirates at the Rockies. Rich Hill. Dominant. Kyle Freeland. A GOAT. I mean, this should be a pitching clinic. 5.7 run total for the Pirates of Pittsburgh. 6.6 for the Rockies. Rockies confirmed lineup. Jerickson Profar. Chris Bryant, Charlie Blackmon, CJ Crone. Hello, I am Elias. Ryan McMahon. Ryan McMahon. Yes, sir, Mr. McMahon. Jonathan Daza. And then Elias' brother. You never see them on deck together. It's weird. And Ezekiel Tovar. We don't have a Pirates lineup yet. Or do we? No. Alright, so this one's easy. I'm not pitching Rich Hill. Not pitching Kyle Freeland. We're going to want to be here. We are. But how do we do it? Well, ownership. We'll start with the Pirates. Brian Hayes, Rodolfo Castro is in 1 in 4 lineups. Andrew McCutchen. I think McCutchen has one of those crazy core splits or bad ones. I remember there was like a joke, a running joke for years when I first got started about McCutchen and cores. So a lot of people are going to be playing Pirates. A lot of people are going to be playing Rockies. We don't have to research it. It's a great spot for both teams. They have infinite runs projected. Rich Hill is bad. Kyle Freeland is bad. Kyle Freeland last year in cores, 15% K rate, 300 average allowed. What's our path to failure for the stacks? Both teams kind of suck. I don't know. We're just trying to push back here. So if you are not willing to give cores to the field, I would probably recommend that you explore some ways to make these stacks different. And if you're on Fantasy Cruncher, this year, they didn't have this last year. This year they have an incredible tool in their stack manager. So when you add your stacks, you add your 4-mans, you add your 3-mans or whatever. Look at this, team combo limit. This is really nifty, really useful. So like if I went to Colorado, I would probably want to minimize Colorado and Pittsburgh overlap, because the aggregation on the ownership in that lineup is going to be so high that it's just not going to be that unique to jump past the rest of the field. And that's the goal here. If you're not first, you're last. Well, that's not true. You could be second, you could be third, and then on top of just cores being chalk today, it's going to be handcuffed to Uber Chalk, where lineups are coming preloaded with Jacob deGrom. 6 and 10 lineups right now. So, the skeleton of your average lineup that you're going against tonight, Corbin Burns got it shot up to 40%. The skeleton is probably Burns. All right, so let me just lock these two, right? And then just spit out a batch. we're doing BVP. Might have a BVP minute. Let you guys talk, and then no more BVP for the rest. What up, Jay? Still newer to baseball. How much do you downgrade stolen bases against lefty pitching? I don't, because this year you have the pickoff limit, which is 2 pickoffs and a step off. So check this out. And wait, did we have the randomness on it? Oh, I didn't put randomness. Let's do 60%. Let's just do 80. Normal randomness that I use for baseball. Let's run that again. And then I think when you get into danger, I talked about this at the end of our Friday stream. There's so many stats in baseball, so many things to research, that it's so easy to have paralysis by analysis. And I think there's a valuable starting point, but I think you want to keep the complicated simple, right, as much as possible. And what I mean by that, focus on a set number of stats. So like there's people spending time out of their day to look at how often a pitcher throws a fastball lower third quadrant to, it's 8%. I need to pick on because this hitter. No, that's a waste of time because of how much variance is in baseball. The stats that I would like lean on is like for the pitchers, give me xFIP, give me K percentage, and look at if we're how good our run prevention is, ground ball rate, stuff like that. You can grab like 5 stats and work from there. When you start diving into like stolen base matchups, man, stolen bases are so easy right now. We're seeing a league high in success rate, a league high in attempts, that I think you probably have a more efficient use of your time to more so just, kind of focus on the matchup. Like keep the stolen base guys in, but to tweak, because a guy like Rich Hill, if this game goes how everyone thinks it is, Rich Hill's not long for this game. A couple innings, one time through the order, whatever, maybe two times. Then you get half the game, and it could just be righty. So I wouldn't factor that in at all because I don't know that you would be able to reap the benefits of your research in a one-game run, in a one-game sample size too much. Hopefully that makes sense. I feel like I rambled. Anyway, so I locked in Jacob deGrom and Corbin Burns. It did nothing else. And it's literally all core stacks, right? So if you are on cores, and you should be, like rightfully, that's a good place to start, and you're not willing to surrender the ridiculous ownership to the field, you have to be there. You have to make your lineups unique. So if you lock him DeGrom and Burns in full stack cores, that's probably not going to go a long way towards you sitting at first place. I mean, this first of all, this is stupid that you can do this. Look at this: four Rockies, four Pirates with DeGrom and Burns. If I came if we last year, knowing DeGrom and Burns' talent with a 13 run total, this should not be done. DraftKings should this is stupid, but we have to deal with it. Everyone's working with the same deck of cards, right? So what I would probably start with is I'd start exploring the team combo limit tab here, right? And I would really probably not want any overlap between a four-man Rockies, four-man Pittsburgh stack. So I'd probably just go 0 on that. And that'll be a start towards uniqueness. That way our Rocky stacks get shuffled in with the 10% or less owned teams or the 15% or less, and vice versa. So just a little bit of game theory. If you run DeGrom and Burns with a core stack, you're not very unique, and unique is pretty important when it's all said and done. You do it by playing 1% Dustin May. It could work. Where are we at? I didn't do a sub check today. 29 likes, 105. Come on, guys. I'm doing better preaching than y'all doing amening. 86-28. Maybe we can get to 35. Anyway, Rich Hill's bad. Freeland's bad. They should both get beat up today. Plan accordingly. Freeland's given up 2 runs in 12 innings and cores. He's due. Results don't matter. But let's go look at what Freeland's actually done, advanced metrically. DeGrom should be 13K. I get Burns was struggled out the gate. I really just think one of the things that would solve a lot of this is just tax cores. I mean, it's just, and they didn't do this last year either. When you look at a team like the Pirates, and they're 6, what did we say, 5, whatever their run total is, 5 over 5 run total. The Rockies with a 6.6 whatever run total. It should not be cheaper to get to these run totals in the most hitter-friendly park on the universe, on the planet, or for the majors rather, than it is to go take a shot on the Blue Jays or Astros against 2 good pitchers. You know what I mean? Look at the prices here. So and we've been saying this for over a year, so I don't think they actually care. But for those of you that do love contrarian approach to baseball, it's low-key a good thing, because every slate you can see, rake times 1.5, rake times 2 on a stack, and you take that chance with the field, right? You bet the field versus cores. Catcher Diaz went off for me at Curse. I'm with that. Hit the like minute 5 minutes before you air. I appreciate that, Mike. The likes. I appreciate it. All right. Let's move on. We don't really need to analyze cores, but I guess I'll look at Kyle Freeland stuff just because Sean brought it up. 7% overall swinging strike rate against the Cardinals. Ironically, again, everyone's out here missing bats against the Cards. It's crazy. But just a 57% first pitch strike, last 2 games 50-60%, so lower than you would want it. The batted ball not on his side. So this is what I mean by results don't matter. He said, what did you say? 2 runs in the 2 games in Coors. Well, the xFIP is 5. An average of 4.95. The hard contact rate that last game 70%. The BABIP 212. The left on base is 100%. That's ridiculous. 1.3 WHIP. So yeah, I don't really care about the results as much as I care about the advanced metrics, the stuff that matters predictively, because results don't explain luck. And that's the beauty of advanced metrics. Padres and the Braves. Braves 4.7 run total. The Padres 4. Max Fried taking on Ryan Weathers. Is this Fried's debut of the season? It is not. 3.1 innings against the Nats. He threw 43 pitches. So, that's the game he got injured in, right? So I am worried about how deep his pitch count would be. He was able to resume throwing less than a week after shortening his hamstring. Should be able to offer something approximating a normal workload in his return to the rotation. The F is what does that mean? Anyway, and then Weathers. This is the guy I didn't understand how he was in the majors. And then he's come out and eat 5 innings in 2 games. So I do want to look at his metrics, because we spent time looking at his minor league campaign, and it was not good. Connor Joe revenge. It's one thing we know about Connor Joe. He's out for revenge. Where did you come from? Where did you go? 9.5% swinging strike rate. 4.65 xFIP. So this guy looks like he's been living on the edge of his seat. 45% ground ball rate is good. All right, we need to revisit his minor league stats, because if I remember correctly, this guy sucked. In the minors. I typed Fried. Weathers. Anybody ever listen to that Creed album, Weathered? For some reason, every time I pull him up, it was like, me, I'm a Ryan Weathers. Barely hold it. But I don't feel like no one would get that, because I don't even know if they released that song. And then it also, might indicate that I listened to Creed as a kid, and that explains a lot. What am I doing? 5.24 career ERA in the minors. Not what you want. 247.1 innings pitched, 207 strikeouts, super contacty, 1.52 on the whip. How does this make it to the majors? This was when we started. Then his career major league stuff has not been great either, but he's only 23. So looking at last year, yeah, I'm not gonna spend. I'm definitely not here to spend anything about pitching Weathers, but I just wanted to refresh. 30.2 innings last year against lefties. 30 Ks, 341 average allowed, now what you want. And almost a 1-to-1 ground ball to fly ball ratio. 86.1 innings against righties, 58 strikeouts, super contacty to righties, not what you want. 0.7 ground ball to or ground out to air out ratio. A 185 on the whip. How did this make it to the majors? And then looking at the metrics so far, results are usable. The predictive metrics say, hey man, 4.27 xFIP against the Mets, 5.02 against the D-backs. StatCast has given us no barrels yet. Only 1 hard hit ball in that last game. Pitch type, fastball sit at 95, slider, changeup. So 3-pitch pitcher And I don't know that any of these pitches, his slider has all of his pitchers have a positive grade, but again, those are results based. Those are not predictive. So what is predictive is Baseball Savant. So let's see if those pitchers or pitches are outperforming the expected metrics. Expected slugging on all those pitches so far, really good. Yeah, really good. 300 expected average batting average against that changeup. All right. So that's who Ryan Weathers is. But the Braves are a team I really like against lefties. I'd stack the Braves just about against anybody. Where are the Braves at in ownership? Decent, right? Acuna leads the charge. Everybody else is modest. Yeah, I'm in on the Braves, absolutely. The Braves could legitimately be let's say a pivot to cores with the same upside, right? Their lineup is just stacked. So I'm in on the Braves. Get caught up on chat. Work needs to stop playing with me right now. They don't know I'm watching YouTube. Connor Jones, you get traded to the Pirates is equivalent to Last Chance You and the man. Okay, Caleb. I'm glad I'm not alone. You know what's funny is I didn't when I got that Creed album, I didn't even care. Like I didn't want it. My mom worked at Walmart, and this is way back when CDs were a thing, kids. Everybody gathered around, and I guess they were promoting and she was like, she just thought that, oh, my teenage son would love this. And she brought me the CD, and I listened to it because we didn't have internet and PS5s. We had internet, but rent Rooker way too cheap. I'm with that. All right, so give me the Brave stack for sure. And then Fried, I'm stuck on his pitch count. Like they said, should be like his normal, but I don't know what that means. And then yeah, he has dabbled with some injuries. Last season though, 185.1 innings pitched. The metrics are great, pristine. The last two seasons, Max Fried's pretty good. And then on top of all of his goodness, there's an extremely high ground ball rate, 58% to lefties, 50% to righties. So he's very good at suppressing power, which is very valuable against a team like the Padres that Xander Bogaerts, Machado, Soto, Cruz, like there's a lot of power in those bats. So even if you were trepidatious to pitch Max Fried, you kind of wonder, how long he can go just to, is he going to cut the game in half for the Padres? So Padres might be more of a bet on talent stack than anything. And what kind of ownerships can we expect on them? They're untouched, which is interesting because I don't think Max Fried is grabbing much, 1%. So that's one of those spots. Phil's not making a decision. So if you're going to give me a completely unowned Padres team on a slate like this where I need pivots to upside, I'll take my chances. All right, I think their probability of being a great team versus ownership gives me positive leverage. I mean, if this is true, the entire team is under 1%. So I have to take that. I will have to take a team like the Padres at under 1%. I guess we'll type. If you're a Viper, I'm gonna redo this in a little bit, make it a little bit more aesthetically pleasing, and then we'll do the. We haven't really added more pitchers to the pool though. I don't think I'm gonna take a shot at Fried here, but give me some of the offenses here. Not actually expecting much, but versus ownership in our need for finding pivots, I think we have to be here. What was that? Okay. Creed was cool. Y'all weren't there. It's a band that gets a lot of hate these days. But I'll go down. I'll die on this rich hill. Nickelback. There, I said it. I loved Nickelback, god dang it. I loved them. I saw them in concert a couple times. And then one day I wake up and everyone's making fun of Nickelback, and now it's a thing. I'm like, what happened? Why? They're good. Gosh dang it. Mariners and the Brewers. Do we have lineups here? No. Brewers have a 4.2 run total. Mariners have a 3.5 run total. There are no runs in this game. Corbin Burns taking on Chris flexing on my haters. Corbin Burns came out the gate rough, looked rough in spring. And then that last outing, if you stayed loyal to the soil, Burns was like, I got you at really low ownership. And I want to say it really low. Was he like 8K that night? It was stupid. Limp Bizkit, here we go. All right. We got a bunch of dad console gamers in this lobby, y'all. What am I looking at, Burns? Yeah, he was 8,500. He's still under 9K. I mean, that's just stupid. It's literally just dumb. It's literally levels of dumbness that are an all-time high. Nickelback and Creed drink Bud Light. It's the pre. I can't say it. There's some memes that are funny. I don't know. My boy Chad, wasn't Chad Kroger? Am I making this up? Wasn't he with Avril Lavigne before? Dude, who's with her now? Some rapper. Maybe I'm making that up. I could be wrong. Nickelback is horrendous. Come on, Leader of Men. Man. Some of the newer stuff, whatever. But the early stuff, man. 18% swinging strike rate for Corbin Burns. 70% first pitch strike against Arizona, by the way. Walked away to 2.5 xFIP. So something clicked and he was like, yo, I'm Corbin Burns. What am I doing? Pitch type. Threw the fastball barely. What did he throw? Jesus. Cutter and curveball and changeup. And the cutter in that game, curveball in that game, nothing looks like super different. Advanced. 167 BABIP, a little bit lucky. 100% left on base, 31% K rate. So he started finding strikeouts. So I think because we have a larger sample on him, knowing who he's supposed to be over the last 3 years versus the 2 game, I'm gonna go right back to trusting him. I do have respect for the Mariners as a team. Fun, talented team. So I would imagine since Corbin Burns is grabbing 40% ownership, the Mariners are another one of those teams that are going to be pennies on the dollar in terms of ownership. So I might get to some Mariners just to be there, right? Like if I'm super stuck on Coors Field and I have to have some Pirate, I have to have some Rockies with DeGrom and Corbin Burns, I think this is the bloodline here, right? Teams like the Mariners, the Astros, the Blue Jays, even the Braves to an extent. That's how we do it. But Corbin Burns has to be a thing. So, what are you guys thinking? Tier 2? Man, I respect this freaking. Maybe I over-respect in the Mariners. There's a beautiful lane of strikeouts here. Yeah, we're just going to put him at tier 2. Screw it. I'm less concerned about his ownership than Coors. We'll see. Tyga. There we go. Wasn't Tyga with, not Tyga. Jesus H. Wasn't Avril and Chad Kroger, I think? Chad Kroger. Or did they just have a song? No, it says they were engaged. Yeah, okay. Come on, y'all. Come on. What about Hinder? Bro, I saw Hinder. So, when I was like 16, 17, I lived in Huntsville, Texas, and there was a I don't know if any of you guys lived in Houston or around there. There's a radio station called The Edge or something, and every year they do one of those festivals, right? And they call it Edge Fest, and it was scheduled to be at Minute Maid Park. Well, the Astros made the playoffs, and it was like they didn't expect that. So the Astros game was scheduled on like the day after Edge Fest, and they were very worried that this all-day rock festival would mess up the stadium and they wouldn't be able to have it ready for the playoff game the next day. So within a few days' notice, they changed it from Minute Maid to the Woods Pavilion in like closer to Conroe. And I was like 16, 17, but I had a car. I didn't have a license. And me and the homies were like, yo, if you drive, I got your ticket. So I was like, all right, we'll go. Anyway, that was like the greatest concert I've ever been to. It was like Audio Slave, Nickelback. Oh, man. Yellow Card, Seether. Panic at the Disco. Fudge, man. It was such a stacked card. But the opening act, the very first band that day was Hinder, and they got booed off stage because that guy was talking like a douchebag, bro. And that was before they kind of blew up, and then they blew up, within the next year or two. But man, that was such a good experience, all because the Astros made the playoffs. So shout out to the Astros. But yeah, Hinder, I'm familiar with Hinder. What up, Gilbert? Hoobastank was not there. Hinder had a moment, man. They have one song, right? Cedar was dope. Bro, Caleb, man, I gotta find you this lineup, bro. When I say this concert was nuts, so let me see. It was probably 06, 08. Maybe 05, the year I graduated. Oh, man, who else was there? 30 Seconds to Mars was there. But, like, it was insane, bro. Maybe it's not Edge. The Buzz. It was Buzz Fest. Right? Isn't it? I don't know. Here it is. I found it. Now y'all got my brain going. So you alt rock guys. So here's the one. It was 2005. Originally scheduled to take place at Minute Maid Park, moved to the Astros reaching the World Series. That's what it was. 10 years. 30 Seconds to Mars. Audio Slave. My favorite band ever. Bloodhound Gang. Coheed and Cambria. Cold. Fall Out Boy. Hinder. Nickelback. Our Lady Peace. Panic at the Disco. Seether. Yellow Card. I mean, that was a great day for me. Great day for me. Lil Wayne, he puts on a good show. Audio Slave is my favorite band, man. Rest in peace, Chris Cornell. Anyway, offensively, Chris Flexen, right? Let's look at Flexen's metrics. Sorry for those of you that don't care about not baseball. And, like, a lot of those bands weren't as big now. Like, a lot of those bands are, like, legendary. But, like, 30 Seconds to Mars was, like, one of the first few bands. And Jared Leto, right? Like, he climbed the pole. It was just, like, if I could go back and appreciate what was going on now with the lens of now, understanding, how a lot of those guys are, like, legendary. It was such a good day. Such a good day. Batted ball data. Let's go game log batted balls. Because they have a really low run total for the Brewers, but it might just because the Brewers have stalled. 14, and then I got to see it for free. It was a whole, broke teenager experience, right? I parked at some bank, like half a mile away, walked to it. It was a good day. 14% swinging strike rate. A lot of that's coming from the first game is Cleveland, which is crazy because Cleveland doesn't strike out. And then 9.5% swinging strike rate against the Cubs. Angels 12%. Batted ball data is giving us a 6.21 xFIP. So Brewers are kind of poking at me because a 4.2 run total here against Chris Flexen. I mean, Flexen's getting respect. 43% ground ball rate, 21% line drive rate. Pull rate's pretty high. I think I get to some Brewers just based on the opportunity. Tool, yeah, I was going. Best concert I ever went to, I was at a festival called Tipper. Couldn't tell you who the band was, but the LSD was amazing. Man. God dang, Knack. That's throwbacks. We got some old school cats. I love it. No, I'm not that. I'm old, but I'm not that old. No, or I'm old school, but I'm not that old school. I'll say. How about that? All right. I think out of respect, we can get both offenses. Chris Flexen's results are probably on the unsustainable side. But we have seen some rough games for the Brewers. 8 earnings against Chicago. I think that was that weird win game. But still, Flexen is beatable. So I'm on both offenses when it's all said and done. But from an actual, believe in a pitcher getting hit ups approach, I think Flexen is beatable. So Rowdy Tellez has been killing it. Willy Adames, I'm in. Excuse me, chat. I went for a little walk before we went on the air, so I'm just catching up to all the pollen. So give me some Brewers, and I'll get a back pocket Mariner stack just because when a pitcher gets to 40-60%, especially a guy that we've seen collapse in a couple of his starts so far, and I'm looking for pennies on the dollar ownership against what Coors is. I'll get to some Mariner stuff But I don't actually believe that. If I went to 20 lineups, I probably wouldn't get to Mariners. But I do think the talent on a couple of these teams being sub 1%, I got to get there. I got to do it. Tool, Rage Against the Machine. Yeah, I don't mind them. My rock enthusiasts. And I don't really listen to rock anymore, but Soundgarden or Audio Slave. If you had to get rid of one band's history to keep Chris Cornell's, art alive, which one do you keep? And I think I was a little late to I don't really appreciate Soundgarden. Yeah, I know, Spoon Man, whatever, but Audio Slave was it for me, man. That was my soundtrack of life. Cubs and the Athletics. Hayden Wesneski taking on Kyle Muller. We have a 4.4 run total for the Cubs, 3.8 for the Athletics. So two very bad teams going at it, and two pitchers that can get got. We've actually seen a little bit of offense in Oakland. I don't think that's a result of anything specifically other than just Oakland's bad. We saw that the Mets score a couple touchdowns on them the other night. Did you guys know in that game where the Mets popped off, they set a single game record for walks? It was baffling. So the Athletics pitching is certainly not great. 8.6% swinging strike rate for Wisniewski so far. 6.57 xFIP. Not what you want. Talked about that Wrigley game. We even saw it inversely with Chris Flexen. Might have been a little bit park infused, but nonetheless, he seems very gettable. 94 mile an hour velocity on average for his fastball. Sliders, meh. Cutter, meh. So two gettable pitchers against two bad offenses. I'm with you guys. I mean, I think the offenses are more intriguing to me here than the pitchers, and I don't really see redeeming qualities in either pitcher to try and steal service for DFS, right? 16. Wisniewski's actually getting some ownership. I guess last year he wasn't bad. 33 innings. Maybe we'll look at some minor league stuff. Maybe he's just got to grow into a pedigree that I need to be more versed on. 2.18 expected ERA, 25% K rate last year. Where are you guys landing on Wisniewski? Little walk problem too. 4 Ks in the first game. Patrick Wisdom, yeah, he's been killing it. 17 walks. That was nuts, bro. What up, Bird Nerd? Yeah. Saw Audio Slave thrice live. Cornell was incredible. It's so good, man. Such an incredible voice. So unique. I'm pretty sure it was a record. It was, if nothing else, it was the Athletics record because they were hyping it up on the broadcast. And I think they went 2 over. But man, 17 walks sure feels like a major league record. But it's been a long time in the major leagues. Wisniewski minor league numbers: 3.68 career ERA, 269 innings pitched, 287 strikeouts, $1.16 on the whip. So there's some strikeout acumen. That's 16% owned. Let's split it up. See Metallica. I have not seen Metallica, so that's a little past my prime. Now I'm way more calmed down. I mean, I wasn't never into like crazy music, but I don't know. I listen to everything, but like if I had to go to the gym and work out and put something in my ears to get crunk, it's probably gonna be some Christian worship or maybe some Christian hip hop. Every now and then I get some secular beats in my earphones, but I'm out of touch with a lot of the modern music. Last year, 54 innings against lefties overall, 241 average, 47 strikeouts, $1.25 on the whip, $1.25 on the ground out to air out ratio. So ground ball guy, less than a strikeout per inning to lefties. Homers, 9 homers in 54 innings. That's a little elevated. So a wide range of outcomes against lefties. And then against righties, more than a strikeout per inning. Fly ball pitcher, 18 walks. 18 walks. And then only 1 homer. Huh? What? Alright. I get it though. Athletics are bad. So, yeah. I'll take a stab. Back pocket. But it doesn't look like he's like a contrarian stab. Roads. What's crazy about Wisniewski is that the Cubs rally so many points when he pitches. the reverse DeGrom. Temple of the Dog is better than Audio Slave and Soundgarden. I definitely know of them. I have to look up one of their songs later. But that's just going to be... You'll never change somebody's mind on crap that they listened to 20 years ago, you know? Like, we're all just preconceived notions. And it's just how it makes you feel. Like, what was... the guy from Tool had another band, right? And it sounded so similar. Fudge. What was the name of his other band? You guys remember? Tool, singer, other band. I think it was A Perfect Circle. It was A Perfect Circle. It's like, that's always been fascinating to me for them to have multiple different, yeah. Soundgarden. You would keep Soundgarden, get rid of Audio Slave's discography. Alright, that's fair. I mean, it is. Alright, let's look up Kyle Mueller. This might be a lower 4-corner spot. But I really don't think I want to play Mueller. I barely want to play Wisniewski. Pantera, Biloxi. Let's go Mighty Saint. Mississippi. Pantera. Is that the band? 8.3% swinging strike rate. Almost a 51% first pitch strike. Cool. Batted ball data, 4.54 xFIP. Last 2 games. I'll tell you what. Strength of schedules maybe not on his side. Angels, Cleveland, who don't strike out. And then the Orioles in Camden. I got a lot of respect for that. But looking at last year's metrics, there's really nothing. There's no sample size ever. But the sample size we do have is bad. So I guess it's fair to go look at maybe his minor league stuff. Just kind of see if there's a... The kid was on the Braves, wasn't he? Hey, he's got an Atlanta hat right there. Perfect circle, yeah. Whitey Ford sings the blues. Okay. Christmas with System of a Down. Featuring smash hits such as Santa was created by the government to control your brain. Wake up. Santa's not okay. This is a weird one. You guys are the best. Career rise 3.18 ERA, 541 innings, 588 strikeouts. So another guy that should be striking out more if he starts to catch up to his minor league pedigree. Buck and a quarter on the whip. And then we split his 2022. How did he spend a lot of time in the minors last year? Yeah, he did. 49.2 innings against lefties, 65 Ks. That's really good. 79 innings against righties, 94 Ks. So there is potential for him to find strikeout stuff as he gets more and more reps at the big league level. Homers are a little elevated. 6 homers in 49 innings against lefties, 8 homers in 79. So that's a little bit more normal. 1 per 10. But it looks like lefties a little bit above average. But man, there is some strikeout stuff, at least in his history. And like I said, the first 3 matchups for him were a little bit rough. I don't know. See if Baseball Savant's easier on him than this is. The swing strike rate's not on his side, so I'm not going to get stuck on stupid here. But I am curious. Kyle Mueller. Toxicity. That was a good one. Uh, 60% K percentage on his curveball. Doesn't use it much, it looks like. Expected batting average on his fastball is 334. That's not good. 547 expected slug. 58% hard hit rate. All right, he's got to fix that. It is the A's. He's got to fix that. Man. Could I just be here and no one else be here? Not really. 10% and 17%. I get it. Back pocket. There's like a second tier of tier 3. It should be like tier 4. Just because it's a positive park with guys that somewhere in their pitching DNA is some strikeout stuff. They haven't realized it at the major league level. And you could maybe look at strength of schedule. You could maybe look at unfortunate, games in Wrigley, whatever. But because of how mediocre the opposing teams are, I do think at their prices today, I could get here. And these are kind of guys that could maybe bridge the gap between a DeGrom, a cheap SP2, the chalk cores, and then like a super low on expensive stack, like a Braves, like a Blue Jays, stuff like that. So I think by default I get there. With it. Queen of the Dam soundtrack. That was a good one. Who produced that? Was that the guy from Korn? What's his name? Was it Jonathan Davis? Is that his name? or the singer. I think that's who produced it. I remember that soundtrack as a kid. I didn't ever watch the movie, if I'm being honest. I just got the freaking soundtrack. Wasn't Aaliyah in that movie? Hunger Strike and Say Hello to Heaven. I have to check that out. What's up? Tiz. I was a farm aide in Indianapolis when Guns N' Roses drummer fell into his drum set. Jeez. Yeah, Chris Cornell was so good. All right, let's do a plug here. Then we'll do the main event. Then we'll wrap around, grab some lineups confirmed. It's been fun. Just hanging out, talking obscure old music. If you guys want to hang out some more and get in that premium Discord and get the spreadsheet, get the player polls, all that cool stuff, go to rundfs.com. Get yourself a membership. Week pass, 2 week pass, month pass, season pass, year passes, all that good stuff. Every pass comes with a credit towards Fantasy Cruncher once you redeem it. When you do upgrade, click VIP portal. There's a link to the spreadsheets, a link to the Discord, and there's a link to redeem your Fantasy Cruncher voucher. So you have to have an account at Fantasy Cruncher, account with us. I don't think they like when you have, like, there's other sites that might also have that voucher. So, like, if you already have that voucher somewhere else, maybe relax. But, yeah, we got that going. Also, we didn't really look at PrizePicks or No House while we were shopping. No House does offer baseball. I don't know if you know that. Kind of similar to PrizePicks. Sometimes they offer something that PrizePicks doesn't. So much like our PrizePicks deal, if you guys want to just kind of broaden your horizon on where to prop bet, check out No House. I'll put that link in the comments. And then if you sign up using code GUNDACKER, they'll double your first deposit up to $100. So, pitchers. So, what do they got, like, on cores? Anything? Pittsburgh got cores. They got pitchers, 6.5 combined runs first inning. Like, you don't get that at PrizePicks. So, it's cool to have unique options on both sides. Hey. Yo, Danny. Thank you so much for the sub, man. Welcome. Could you drop your free Discord? There's a link in the description below to the free Discord. I'm gonna be honest, the Discord's kind of dead, man. I would appreciate, like, some new blood in there. I could use some moderators to help me out, but I do post in there when I go live, and if you tag me in it, I'll do my best to reply. But it's not really that active of a chat. It's like news feeds and stuff like that. But it is in the description below. So Coors is listed on here. What are we liking from Coors? Anything that we want to take a prop on? Kyle Freeland, 6 hits or 1.5 walks. Rich Hill, 6 hits. Ooh, Koch. We get Brian Reynolds, 2.5 hits, RBIs, and runs. So if he hits a homer, that clears that, right? A homer's a hit, homer's an RBI, and a run scored, right? So if you like him for a homer, that's how you would equate that. Chris Bryant, if you're believing. Oh, this I don't like. This, stay away from this crap. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I hate this prop. The single prop, they have to hit a single. So Chris Bryant can hit 3 homers today, but if he doesn't hit a single, you miss. So don't touch those. Those are stupid. All right, main event tonight, and then we'll wrap up. We'll go back and go grab some confirmed lineups. But we got the Dodgers and Dustin May up against the Mets and David Peterson. 3.9 run total for the Mets. Dodgers 4.8. Dustin May 8,400 on DraftKings. I don't know if he's picking up any steam. I would imagine not, as he's so close to Corbin Burns in price. But let's see. No, he's not. David Peterson's higher owned. I don't know if I'm... Okay. That makes no sense to me. But I don't really want to play... Oh, fudge. I closed out Dustin May. I don't really want to play Dustin May. I feel like we saw this last season as well. There was a stretch where Dustin May's swing and strike rate was not super pristine. And on this slate, does look like double barrel 30s is very possible. And the Mets are pretty good. I don't really want to pitch against them. So Dustin May probably falls through the cracks for me. 7.4% swinging strike rate, 6% in the last 2 games. That's not great. 4.8 xFIP. I could do without that. 3.4 walk per 9. I could do without that. 2 barrels in that last outing. 6.1% barrel rate overall. So last outing a little bit unlucky. Hard hit rates 41%. That's not what you want. So yeah, I don't want to play Dustin May. The Mets offense has shown a lot of pop. Pete Alonso is, I think yesterday Pete Alonso was under plus 300 to hit a homer. That's getting a little ridiculous. This man's on a tear. Dustin May, I guess to his credit, doesn't really allow a lot of power. Last year against righties, .17 home run per 9, but he hasn't really given us a lot of innings to work with. So some of this could be product of small sample, but what we do have to deal with is a 20% K rate last year to righties, over a 1 home run per 9. So like he doesn't not give up homers. So I think we could bet on talent with the Mets here. Again, relative to pricing in like cores, you have to pay a little bit more money here, but we have seen the upside in this offense. So I don't mind getting to the Mets, and the Dodgers are always get behind the Dodgers, especially when the pitcher's 10% owned. Like, that's kind of surprising. What is that in regards to the slate? And that's not a knock necessarily on Peterson himself, because I do concede that he does have strikeout potential, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th highest ownership. Below, maybe that's appropriate. But does that make the Dodgers untouched? Yeah, Mookie's up there, but other than that, relatively low ownership. Max Muncy's been raking lately. So it just kind of exists. There's a lot of scumdacker opportunities tonight. Let's look at Peterson's metrics before we make a David Peterson. Then we'll update lineups. Then we'll look at the bottom sector, and then yeah. Hill's gonna pitch the game of his life tonight. I mean, I hope so, because I might just give the field. Like, I might stay away from full stacks and just like do one-offs. I don't know. Seven homers, first 11 games for Alonso in Dodger Stadium. Nice. Appreciate that, Mike. Uh, 11.7% swinging strike rate for Peterson through 3 games. Batted ball data, 3.75 overall xFIP. Milwaukee game got rough. The other stuff's pretty good. 2 barrels, 30% hard hit rate. So all like usable metrics. I think it's just a strength of schedule thing. I think a 10% is fine. 6,800. I think the way this ownership's looking, like I could see people accept DeGrom home run points from an SP2, and then all the money that they would want for their bats. So I don't mind that. And I could see Peterson's strikeout ability, giving you 15 to 20. So I get the ownership, is what I'm saying. But Dodgers will always be a stack for me. Mookie, Freeman, JD, Muncy, Trace Thompson against lefties we love. So that's how we do that. All right, let's get all the confirmed lineups wrapped up. I don't think there's that many that I got to add. But then we'll look at the ball detector. And then if you guys got anything right now about the slate or anything, it's been a fun stream. I do appreciate you guys making the research a little bit easier, right? Hopefully that's cool, man. If you guys are cool with the chats while we research, baseball can be really boring. I enjoyed it. Jankowski is batting second, y'all. That's huge. That is huge. Speedster. I hope they don't like sack bunt him, but man, if he gets on, that's really there's a lot of opportunity there. Josh Smith down to the 7th spot. Brad Miller gets the contact pitcher. So I'm still here liking this Rangers lineup. A lot of lefties in this Rangers lineup, so we can focus on Lyle's lefties numbers from last year: 4.56 xFIP, sub 20% K rate, 1.75 home run per nine. Yeah, I like that. A lot. What else we got? D-backs. Actually, Blue Jays lineup did come out, didn't it? Didn't it? Maybe not. I thought I saw it in Discord. Yeah, we do. But there's no Adolis Garcia. That's 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. Springer, Bichette, Vladdy, Dalton Varsho, Matt Chapman. He's got a fast car. Brandon Belt, Danny Jansen's batting 7th. Whoops. Kevin Biggio and Kevin Kiermaier. Boom. That's updated. By the way, if you guys are getting out of here, just hit that thumbs up on your way out, man. Appreciate it. Pirates lineup. No. Anything else? Or are we caught up? We're kind of caught up. Huh. I thought a bunch of I guess what I was seeing was alerts from the early games were coming out. All right, let's sort the bomb detector. Dang, no Garcia. That is a big exclamation point on that stat. Chris Bryant leads the bomb detector today, 4.12 rating, tied with Ezekiel Tovar, but the better hitting spot in the lineup for Bryant. McCutcheon's up there with a 4.1. There's a lot of cores in the top. Patrick Wisdom's just crazy with it. Trace Thompson against the left. He's always going to look good. Austin. I hate Austin. Austin Riley's up there. Marcus Semien. We'll tweet this out here in a little bit. A bit of lit. But that's what we're looking like. All right, what do you guys got? Jordan Lyles is your pitcher tonight. Dylan, if you don't get your... If you play Jordan Lyles tonight, I don't believe you. But if you do, send me a screenshot on Twitter. Because you're crazy, man. You're crazy. I just don't see it. Even if he doesn't die, like, what is the legitimate upside for Jordan Lyles? CGSO, 60 pitches, 2 strikeouts. What up, Obi? Corbin Carroll is your dong pick. Let's see. Let's make a tough home run call here. Some stuff's too obvious. Let's go down in the cockles. Alright, maybe I can't get too creative here. Muller gets righties. Dansby Swanson, how about that? I just dropped Dansby Swanson. Or did I drop? I was thinking about dropping Dansby Swanson. So we can yell, hold me closer, try to dance me. Yeah, tomorrow we'll talk about Elton John and Billy Joel, right? Today, it's all rock. Nah, I'll agree with the bomb detector. The guy I like the most at the top of the bomb detector is probably Austin Riley. He's been raking. What's our baseball schedule looking like this week? Got a lot of playoff basketball this week. Hopefully it doesn't degrade the baseball lobbies too much. I don't know if degrade's a word, but it sounds like it. I know degradate. I know degrade's a word. Degradation. I think it's a word. I think I'm just smart. Decline due to a low, destitute, or demoralized state. Degradate. That's good. Tomorrow, all day. Oh, we got a main slate, though. All right, so we could probably stream for the main slate, especially since Otani's going to come to Yankee Stadium and get beat up. That's cool. Wednesday's all day again. All right, so we'll be able to do a stream tomorrow. And then I guess it's the same as last 2 weeks, is where Wednesday and Thursday are day games. And then we'll probably have another Friday afternoon slate. Do we have to deal with cores on the main slate tomorrow? We don't. Oh no, that's Thursday. I'm stupid. Tomorrow, cores is on the main slate. Well, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? All right, what do you guys got, chat? Grossman, BVP, Myron. Stop it. Nate Lowe, I can get down with that. Dylan, how are you actually playing? Chukraidi, man. Chukraidi. All right, guys. Before you get out of here, hit that thumbs up, man. I appreciate you guys making part of my day, be part of your day. All I ask is 3 things: thumbs up, subscribe, tell somebody you love them because I love you. Good luck tonight. Good luck. God bless. Go win some money. Peace. Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.